Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of our real life series where we talk about stuff that matters to you and stuff that you care about. Today I want to talk about relationships. I'm talking about boys and girls. I like you, you like me. Let's be in a relationship together and what that means. What does it mean to be in a relationship in middle school and in high school, and how do we do that? What does that even mean? I don't even know, is it called dating or relationshiping? Hashtag, I don't know how any of that works. Do you guys just like walk up to girls at school and say, hey, yo baby, I think you're hot, let's make out, blah, blah, blah. Does that work like that? Can girls walk up to guys and say, hey, bro, I think you're hot, let's go out? Like how do you do that? I know social media has a lot to do with it, and there's texting and there's Skyping and all that stuff. And I really don't super understand. I mean, I dated when I was in junior high and I was in high school and was really stupid about it. But really when you ask someone out, I mean, you might go on a couple of dates, but the younger you are, the least likely you are to actually go out on a date. So when you ask someone to be your boyfriend, girlfriend, you don't really mean, let's go out together. What you really mean is let's go nowhere but together. I want to show people that we're together and we're holding hands, we're dating, hands off my man, hands off whatever. And that's how it works. But there's a lot more involved with relationships, no matter what age you are. There's an emotional component and saying the I love yous and what do I say, how much time do we spend together. There's a physical element, holding hands and hugging and kissing and what do I do. There's a spiritual element in deciding to be with someone who believes the same kinds of things you do. So we're gonna take the next couple of parts of this video and explore that deeper. Dating can be kind of an emotional experience. You know, you find someone that you like and you find out that they like you back, and then you tell them I like you, and then they say they like you back, and it's a good feeling. It makes you feel good when you find out someone likes you. You care about them and you start to say things like, I love you, or I want to spend the rest of my life with you, or this is a good one. I would do anything for you. What does that even mean? You know, when you're 13 or when you're 16, I would do anything for you. Would you like rob a bank for them? Like what exactly are you talking about? Like what's the point of saying that kind of a thing? Those kind of statements are a clear indicator that you are probably overly emotionally involved or overcommitted to a relationship that's happening in junior high or in high school. And it's just too much. Telling someone that you're in love with them and want to spend the rest of your life with them when you're 14 or 15, it's just a little bit much. This is gonna be kind of weird to say this, but when you say things like that, you're acting like a married couple. When you look at people who are married or have been married a long time, or you watch movies or you see stuff like that, when people say that to each other, typically that's found within a marriage relationship and not two 13-year-olds or two 17-year-olds dating each other kind of a relationship. And what that does is that makes things overcomplicated. When you're in middle school and high school, don't make that forever marriage kind of commitment to somebody that you're just dating. They didn't earn that from you. You don't owe it to them to be with them forever. So don't commit to that. You're making things harder for yourself. You're making the breakup harder. You're making it feel like a divorce instead of a breakup, and that's so much harder and it's so much more emotional to go through something like that than to just break up with a boyfriend or break up with a girlfriend, which is probably and might happen in the relationship that you're currently in or the relationship that you might want to be in soon. There's also a big physical aspect to dating relationships. When do we start holding hands? Do we wait a month? Do we wait a week? Do we start immediately? Are we allowed to kiss? What's the whole deal with the making out? When do we do all that stuff? It can be very confusing and awkward. And the truth is that it's different for everyone. Depends on how old you are, depends on the kind of person that you are. I would talk to your parents about that, talk to your leaders about that, and get some solid advice. But here's my advice. As your youth pastor, this is my official advice to you about the physical aspect of your dating relationship. Wait as long as you can. You can't redo your first kiss. Whatever you do in your first kiss, whether you've had it or not, or you're thinking about how terrible it was, or you're thinking about how scary it's gonna be a little bit weird, and you can't take it back. You only get one shot at it. As soon as you start holding hands with someone, you can't go back to before you were holding hands. If you're making out with somebody, you can't go back to a time where you weren't making out. If you want to be able to take that back, you can't do it. Just wait as long as you can. Focus on other elements of your relationship. Focus on getting to know somebody. Focus on picking the right person. Focus on someone else's character. Focus on being involved maybe with their family or bringing them into your family. Focus on going on dates and having fun and not pursuing the physical aspect of the relationship, because there's going to be plenty of time for that in the future as you start to pursue a marriage kind of a relationship. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 18, it says, "Pray for us For our conscience is clear and we want to live honorably in everything we do. The same is true in your dating relationships. Be honorable in everything that you do. Take your time with the physical stuff. No, don't rush. Enjoy the other parts of your relationship and wait until you're older until we get to the physical part. There's also a really important spiritual element of any dating relationship. When you date someone, what you're saying is, I want to spend a lot of time with you. And when you're saying that, you're really saying, I want to spend my life with you. Maybe not like your whole life, like in a marriage, I want to be with you forever kind of way, but you're saying, I want to commit to spending some time with you and sharing my life with you. And that's really important. And so when you're thinking about having a spiritual relationship and maybe bringing God into your relationship, there's a couple of things that you want to do. And the first thing is you want to find the right kind of person to have a relationship with. You want to find someone who has excellent character, someone who doesn't lie, someone who tells the truth, someone who cares about people, someone who maybe also has a relationship with God. And that's a really important thing. And at this stage in your life, it's okay to be picky about who you have a relationship with. It's not important to date as many people as possible. It's just important to date the right kind of person. We read about this in the Bible. The Bible says this: don't team up with those who are unbelievers. How can righteousness be a partner with wickedness? How can light live with darkness? Basically what it's saying is that when you are in a relationship or when you're teamed up with somebody who doesn't believe the same kind of stuff you believe, it makes it really hard to connect with them on a different level. It makes it hard to be close. It makes it hard because you don't believe the same basic understanding of how you view the world. That's all different, and it makes it very difficult to spend all that time with someone who at the end of the day just doesn't get you. They don't get who you are, because what you believe about God is a very, very, very deep part of who you are. The second thing is that it's important to have spiritual conversations with people, with your person you're in a relationship with. It's important to pray together, maybe go to church together. And by spiritual conversations, I mean maybe just ask each other questions. Like, what do you believe about God? What do you believe about baptism? What do you believe about Jesus? Like, let's talk this out, because it's a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing for us to be able to connect on this kind of level. So if you're in a relationship or looking to be in a relationship, I would say that focus on your spiritual lives together, because that will only help bring you guys closer and closer to God in the process. Here are a few takeaways. The first one is seek wise counsel. And this is going to be a takeaway often, because I think it's very important to seek wise counsel. Here's what I mean by that. I don't mean go talk to your friends and say, oh bro, you got to help me out with this relationship. Or your little girlfriends, you get together and you chat about boys and you talk and there's drama, blah, 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 blah. I don't mean that, because your friends don't know anything about relationships more than you do. You guys are all kind of on the same level. They say, oh, I know plenty about relationships. I've had a ton of girlfriends. They do not know more than you. So don't expect them to be the expert on relationships. So here's also what I don't mean. I don't mean go to the internet for advice. Don't Google how to have awesome relationship. High five. It doesn't work like that, because the internet is going to give you a ton of advice, but it's not going to be complete, and a lot of it is going to be crap. So do not go to the internet for relationship advice. When I say seek wise counsel, I mean talk to your parents. If your parents are still together, if your parents are married, they figured something out. Talk to your leaders, because they've been around a lot longer than you have and have probably made all the mistakes that you've already made and all the mistakes that you're about to make. So talk to somebody who you can trust. Talk to somebody who can give you complete wise advice about what to do and what to not do in your dating relationships. The second thing is this: set up some rules for yourself. Now, you might have some rules in your house and your parents give you rules about dating, and this is a curfew, and this, you can't date till you're 16 or whatever that may be. But my advice to you is, because one day you're not going to be in junior high anymore, you're not going to be in high school anymore, you're going to be on your own, making your own decisions. So start now deciding for yourself what you will and will not do. Come up with a list of rules. I will not date somebody who has bad character. I will not go past this point physically in my relationship until I'm married. I don't want to be out with my boyfriend or girlfriend past midnight, because I know that anything after midnight is going to get a little bit hairy in the physical department. Any other rule that you might have for yourself, or I don't want to date until I'm 15, or I don't want to kiss until we've dated for 3 months, or I want them to meet my parents before we start holding. Whatever the rules are that you come up with that are good for you, make some rules and follow them, because by the time you get to the age where you're in college and beyond, where you're making your own decisions and don't have your parents to help you, it's going to be an awesome way for you to be able to make decisions and be a part of the decision-making process while finding someone to be in a relationship with. And that's very, very important. Again, this is one of those things we could talk about all night, so I'm going to let you guys do that in life groups, and I hope you have an amazing night and fun conversation. We'll see you next time.